Hello guys! This was a difficult week. All weeks are in Ukraine since the start of Russian war. But at the same time, I believe we are 1 week closer to the defeat of Russia and our victory. And our victory is impossible without the total defeat of Russia. Because unpunished evil grows and history, old and modern, teaches us well. Let's have a look at 2014, the annexation of Crimea, global leaders saying let's not escalate, let's appease Russia, and Putin sees that as a green light that countries around Ukraine are observing, and he is free to get more territories. And now, such politics of appeasement inspires other evil regimes like China, and they are conducting drills near Taiwan. Believe me, I am a Ukrainian. They are not doing it for showing off. I had a similar belief when Russian army was gathering at Ukrainian borders in February 2022. War seemed irrational, illogical, but so are authoritarian regimes. Unfortunately, they unite very quickly and very effectively. And we see Russia using Chinese weapons against Ukraine. We see Russia developing satellites together with the Northern Korea. And no, guys, they are not doing that to scare you. They are doing it to use against us. And when I say us, I mean all of us. That's why it is very important for the Western democratic world to be united. And I disagree with Chancellor Scholz, who says we should not target Russia with long-range missiles because this can provoke big war. Actually, if we don't, this will lead to a big war, because at the moment, Russia sees democratic world as weak, and China backs it up. And I agree with the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Poland, who says it's time to change the attitude. We are constantly looking what will be the next move of Russia, how can we predict it, how will we react. We should control the situation, we should lead. This is the only way to win the war, to be decisive. And I believe it's very easy to be decisive when you observe Russian war crimes in Kharkiv. Kharkiv is a 1 million people city in Europe, a modern, vibrant center of education, culture, and trade that is being erased now by Russian shelling. Today is the day of Kyiv, and it is a happy day, an important day, but at the same time in such a painful context. Let me tell you more about the most important events of this week from an ordinary Ukrainian perspective. My name is Anna, and I vlog daily from Ukraine since the start of the brutal Russian invasion. So if you're new to the channel, you support Ukraine, please subscribe and help us fight against Russian propaganda and fake news. And my longtime friends, check your subscription status and hit notification button. Kyiv celebrates its 1542nd birthday. This is huge, and it actually makes Kyiv one of the oldest capitals in Europe. Of course, we don't know the precise day with such old and long history, but this was the first year of mentioning Kyiv in the chronicles. And yes, Kyiv is 665 years older than Moscow. And of course, Rus was a Kyiv state because it is Kyiv Rus. People are celebrating, but you do understand these celebrations are with dark undertones because we are constantly under attack. There are numerous air raid alerts, and we do understand how Russians like to congratulate us. This was a week of extreme violence of Russia in Kharkiv. They were trying to attack the region from the border, but Ukrainian armed forces prevented them, and now even the Institute of the Study of War say that Russian offensive in Kharkiv region failed. They started a little bit too early. And at the same time, they were destroying Kharkiv, a very beautiful city that was once also a capital of Ukraine for a short period. And they've destroyed a civilian building, they've targeted a central park, they have also destroyed a very big publishing house, killing 7 people who were working there and destroying 50,000 books. And what many forget, this is one of the main Ukrainian facilities to print school books, school manuals. The consequences of every Russian attack is more than this momentum sadness that people may feel when reading books far away. This is a huge destruction to Ukrainian life. And for example, this publishing house, its destruction, it's difficult from this moral point of view. It's difficult because this is the death of people, but it is also bad for Ukrainian education, Ukrainian children who will not have enough of books. Russia is pure evil. And we have to be able to target it and prevent such shellings. Honestly, if Ukraine had an opportunity to destroy Russian military targets with long-range missiles, but while they are still on the territory of Russian Federation, like their bombers, aircraft that they use to shell Kharkiv, for example, we could have predicted such destructions and deaths of many people. Guys, how can we live normally in the world knowing that we can save innocent people's lives? And we think, well, it's politics, let's not escalate. And I'm really surprised that Chancellor Scholz says, like, we are afraid of the big war. Oh my God, this is just the same people said in 1939 when they decided let Hitler take Czech people. It's not okay, guys, because these people, not people, these monsters, they treat it as an invitation to continue. And yes, they see democratic world as weak at the moment, unfortunately. Remember to subscribe to demonstrate your solidarity and help us share more information about Ukraine. This is extremely important. And we have to be united because unfortunately authoritarian regimes are super united, and we see that in the way China is threatening Taiwan and in the way China supplies Russia, backs up Russia. For example, during this period of full-scale invasion, 46% more of trade appears between China and Russia. And it's no secret anymore. British intelligence services prove that Russia uses Chinese weapons to target Ukraine, and they don't care. China does not care that, whoa, they pretend not to. And we have so many allies that allow Ukraine to fight with one arm tied behind its back, and they say, whoa, you don't demonstrate perfect results. We allow you to fight only on your territory, destroying every... Wait until they come to destroy you, and only then you can destroy them. It's sad. But at the same time, we manage to demonstrate effectiveness, at least where we are allowed, or where we are not allowed to use missiles. We use our drones. This is definitely good. It was really hot this week in Crimea. And Crimea, unfortunately, after its annexation, was turned into Russian rusty, what's the word for that, military base. And our task is to clean it from Russian army and Russian military objects and return it back to normalcy, because for the course of Russian war, their supplies, their logistics, Crimea is super important. That's why the destruction of military airfields, the destruction of communication center, the biggest communication center there, their air defense systems, and even missile launcher is all very, very, very important. And I hope sometime soon we will see a Kerch Bridge underwater, upgraded to an underwater tunnel. I'm not saying bad words. Also, this week we have neutralized 2 of Russian Su-25 that they use to target Ukrainian soldiers close to the front line. And these evil bastards, they use this aircraft often very close to the border, knowing that Ukraine is not allowed to target with long-range missiles, and just laughing in the face of our defenders, saying, we can bomb you and you cannot bomb us. Guys, we have to persuade this world that Ukraine must be allowed to target Russian military objects that are actually directed on Ukrainian territory while they are still in Russia. This is the way to save thousands of lives, actually, and also to save Ukrainian ammunition and to save Ukrainian army and so on. It is it is important even for the spirit of Ukrainian army, because when you have to feel that human life is valued more than a missile. And what is interesting, different countries have very different opinions, and we see those countries who know what Russia is, who had the experience of being a part of the Soviet Union or being inside this awful Russian empire, like Poland, for example, or Lithuania. They have no doubts that Ukraine should be allowed to use long-range missiles. And there are countries like, not countries, I understand politicians like Scholz who say, oh no, or even we have to wait this decision from the US. I feel like many support the idea, but others counterfight it. And I don't know why people think that our passiveness, our obedience, our observation calms Putin down, and he thinks, okay, I will not escalate. Okay, they don't provoke me. Guys, he is a criminal. He is a monster. He is a murderer. Why did he target this printing house in Kharkiv? Why they destroy a hypermarket in Kharkiv? It is long time ago that we should have prevent and like be first in our moves. It is Russia that should be afraid of escalation. It is Russia that should be afraid of us, not the country. Please stop being afraid. I'm not afraid as a Ukrainian, honestly, because if we fall, war will definitely come to your countries in different forms, but to many countries, it will come in a very real form of the war, the one that we have here. That's why it is better to demonstrate all of our strengths, all of our resilience, and all of our confidence in defeating Russia now. They are weak. They are weak. Just look at Putin. Do you consider him global leader? No. He is a coward. He is a bully hiding in dozens of his bunkers with dozens of his doubles. That's pathetic to be afraid of him. And I know you're not, but you have to work with those who are. That's why I'm saying. So if you like wine or beer or coffee or tea, please drink for the day of Kyiv. And I so much hope the day when it is safe to travel to Ukraine and discover our beautiful country comes soon. And I will meet you in the capital of Ukraine, the brave Kyiv. And so far you can watch a video from Kyiv, from the center of Kyiv, that we filmed last summer. I have left a link in our community tab. Thank you for buying me coffees, becoming sponsors and patrons of the channel. This is an honor, and I'm very grateful that you help me work more. And this work actually saves me to a great extent. Thank you so much for your beautiful comments and advice. I always read them and get inspiration for new videos. Join me on Instagram, X, Threads, and Discord. Check our merch shop for more beautiful items that work well as conversation starters and reminders about Ukraine. But most importantly, thank you for being real citizens. Thank you for being people, because it's actually not that simple in this very chaotic, very crazy world. But we feel your support, your understanding, and your friendship, and it means the most. Slava Ukraini!